Hey, Ed here from 10,000 Foot View, and I've got another Google Ads quick tip for you today. Just before I jump in, a reminder to please like our content and subscribe to the channel. We post about Google Ads at least once every week. Okay, so today I'm going to be having a look at a small, often unused control that helps with filtering and analysis inside of Google Ads, and that is the segment control, which allows you to do breakouts within your campaign and other types of displays inside the native platform. So unlike reports, this is something you can get from your regular columns display without having to do all that. Obviously, reporting tools pretty powerful in terms of using the pivot, but it is time consuming. So within the campaign view in this case, to use the segment control, you just click on it, and then you're going to select the segment of interest. And I'm going to use some examples in here. I won't go through all of these in the name of time. But speaking of time, first I will look at will in fact be time. And so this one's really useful if you want to see kind of a breakdown of how a campaign has performed, in this case, month over month. And so instead of having to cycle through different date ranges and do comparisons side by side, you can pull up, in this case, a whole bunch of months. I think you can have up to 12 months. If you go more than a year, it won't work. I could be wrong on that, but I know there is a limitation. But in this case, we can see, I think we have seven months here, and you can see the cost, the clicks, the click-through rate, conversion, CPA, and all of that on a monthly basis. Just be careful with the time-based reports that your date range makes sense, right? So in this case, we're only looking from July 1st to July 8th, so you're going to have a smaller data set. So that could throw you off. So again, usually if I was pulling this up, I'd look like from January to the end of June so that the numbers all kind of line up. And with the time range, you can do hour of the day, quarter, year, day of the week, to look at those things. Those can also help you with ad scheduling. If you want to not schedule ads to run on a weekend, it's easy to analyze that data. The other thing I'll say with segments before I start looking at some other ones is that you do get a summary. So if I had a bunch of campaigns here, you'd have a breakdown per campaign and then the grand total. So it's a great way, if you want to kind of summarize the reporting data to see like if you were looking at device reports, or if you wanted to see like how overall the day of the week performs, so that you could very clearly see, Saturdays and Sundays are terrible or they're really good. This is a great way to do it. Click type just shows you, whether it's a site link, a website, headline, or so forth. In this case, because it's a performance max campaign type, it's not going to show you. But if it were search, for example, it could show you what was clicked within that ad unit, right? So if there's a site link, driving directions, or what have you, it breaks that down for you. A lot of people don't realize you can actually get this data, because if you look at like site links asset report, it'll show you the number of clicks that occurred when that site link was displayed, but that doesn't mean the site link itself was necessarily clicked. So this can be useful for kind of understanding how those different assets are contributing to clicks on your ad. Over to conversions. So I more often than not look at conversion actions. I'm not going to pull this up because I believe it'll disclose the client name, as that's included in some of the conversion action names. But what it'll do is it'll break down the different types of conversions, and it'll show you the performance for each one. It will also show you the all conversions data, right? So you can compare that. So it's quite useful, and you can break down all different conversion types. There's value rules, there's all kinds of different things in here, but mostly when I use this, it's to look at the conversion action breakout. Devices, as you might expect, will give you a device breakdown, performance by device. You can see TV screens as usual, not a lot of activity here, even though this is PMAX. Mobile phones, by far these days, mobile phones get the vast majority of action across all campaign types. computers are a distant second, and then tablets and others in here. But again, as with the time report, the device one can be great to see overall in your account, how are different devices working, and then on a per campaign basis as well, without going into the campaign and pulling that up or building a separate report for it. Then you have network with search partners, and this can be a great way if you have activated search partners, or you've activated display, that Google will break out where you're spending the dollars and whether or not you're wasting any dollars. So in this case, again, it's all cross network. But if this were a search campaign, then it would break that out for you, and you would see, oh, I spent like 20% of my budget on display and got no conversions. So that's where you're going to be able to easily assess whether you should have display turned on in search campaigns, which invariably my answer is always no. And in terms of search partners, where the answer is a little more fuzzy, usually it's no, because typically search partners don't perform as well on a CPA basis, but even if they do, often that means lower lead quality, and that's something you have to assess in the back end. But this report just gives you that very quickly and easily. Top and other, this actually breaks out the location of your ads where they showed, because this is, again, PMAX, and maybe I shouldn't have used PMAX as an example. There's a reason I did, which is the campaign name. But if there were a search ad, it would show you how many were in the top results, like the top 4 ads, and how many were in the other, which are the bottom 3. And then if you were running search partners, it would also break that out for you here. And then we got ad destination. And ad destination shows you when somebody visits your website. Unknown, I guess, is because it's PMAX, whether it's a phone call, map directions, or location listing. By far, website for search. I expect this is the video locations. I'm not 100% sure on that. And then ad format is just going to show you nothing in the case of PMAX, but I believe you would get, if you had RSAs and you had old ETAs in search, it would break those out for you here. So I did go through, I think, most of them. I mean, not every subcategory, but I did go through all the top categories in this video. And you can see that the segment filter is really, really useful, particularly for seeing conversion breakouts, time domain, and I'd say devices are the 3 most important ones, but the others are useful as well. So hopefully that'll open your eyes about this tool and you'll start using it more. That is it for today. I will see you next time.